Hey there, welcome back to my channel. This is Kristin. I blog at lifeofstones.com where we share our personal financial journey to help you budget your best life. I'm back today to show you once again how I stuff my cash envelopes. Now I'm not exactly sure how many times you can show your cash envelope stuffing because it's slightly repetitive, but you guys seemed to enjoy the video last time, so I figured I'd do it maybe every couple months or so you can see how our envelope categories have changed. So if you like videos like this, then stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm not sure how much time I should really devote in these videos to explaining the cash envelope system. I do have another video talking all about how the cash envelope system actually works. I'll link that above so you can check that out if you're not quite sure how it works. But a real quick overview is every single time when we get our paycheck, we take a certain amount of cash out of the bank and we put it in different envelopes for different categories. It allows us to keep better track of our spending and making sure that we're not going over budget in our different budget categories. You take the money out, you put it in the allotted envelope, and when that money is gone in that specific envelope, then you are done spending in that category until your next payday. Now, even though we are debt-free now, I feel like we're almost leaning even harder on the cash envelope system. I want to really be sure that we don't go spending like crazy just because we're debt-free, because we still do have a lot of financial goals that we really need to work hard to reach. The cash envelope system has been so effective for us in our debt-free journey that every time we stop using it, I really start to feel out of control, even if we're not necessarily overspending. I guess I'm just used to using it at this point, and I like having a specific system to stick to. So if you haven't yet tried the cash envelope system, I highly recommend it. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them below and I will try to respond to you and help you the best I can. So here's my process for stuffing our envelopes. First, I go on our budget spreadsheet. I have a whole bunch of budget videos on my channel you can go back and look through if you're not sure how to get started on a budget. I also have a free email course you can sign up for on my site. I'll leave the link down below, and that's going to take you through 5 days of information and exercises to help you create your very own budget that you can really stick to. So the first thing I do is I go to our budget spreadsheet and I figure out exactly what I want to contribute to each of our envelopes. The next thing I do is I just write a little note to the bank teller. I'm not sure if you can see that. A little note to the bank teller asking her for the specific denominations that I would like. It just makes it easier to stuff the envelopes. That way you're not trying to make change for every single envelope and you have exactly what you need. You can just count it out and put it in the envelope. The next thing I have is obviously all of our envelopes. I actually think I've created more envelope categories since becoming debt-free. Like I said, I just love the organization that it provides me with our cash and our budget. So I've added in a couple more categories this month. The next thing I do is I write down all the amounts on a piece of paper, just a little scratch pad, and then as I go through and I stuff the envelope, I'll just check it off. It just keeps me from having to go back and recount. And lastly, I have my coffee. And we're ready to go. I just take a minute and lay out all my cash in piles based on denominations. It just makes it easier to count out and you're not searching through a big pile of cash. Now, initially, I had $200 cash that I took out that was for our Christmas envelope. I've transferred the majority of our Christmas money at this point to our bank account and I'll just use the debit card. But I also am taking out a little bit of cash each pay for a Christmas envelope just in case there's something I need to pay in cash or I need to put cash in an envelope for a Christmas gift. So I budgeted $200 in cash this pay. And I already went to the bank this morning, but I already went and stopped and got a couple Christmas presents with that. So I have $131 left to put in our Christmas envelope today. 131. Okay, so that's Christmas. cross that one off. Next, I have my son's birthday. We have started saving a little bit each pay for his birthday, which is in the very beginning of January. So if we don't lump it in and save alongside of saving for Christmas, then Christmas is over and all of a sudden we have to find a couple extra $100 to have a birthday for him. He's also 10 this year, and we promised him a little bit of a party with his friends, so we are saving every paycheck to make sure that we have enough covered to pay for his birthday expenses. So this week, I'm going to put $50 in his birthday envelope. Okay, that one's done. Next, I have our kids' expenses. I really probably should have budgeted more for kids' expenses this pay. I'm really not sure why I didn't, because our envelope is otherwise empty. This covers anything the kids need for school, anything they need for sports, and even sometimes if they go to activities with their friends where I need to send money along. So I'm going to put $20 in the kids' envelope. Next is gifts. Even though we are saving for Christmas separately, we have a couple parties coming up and a couple birthdays throughout now and the holiday season. So I'm going to put $50 in our gifts envelope. Next is our house envelope. This one we will definitely increase once we are finished baby step 3. We'll probably increase a lot because there's a lot of little projects that we really want to get done around our house, and I just don't want to spend the money. So we'll definitely be increasing this envelope. For now, I'm going to put $25 in our house envelope. This covers any kind of maintenance, any kind of home decor, any kind of changes we want to make around the house, any kind of lawn treatments, anything like that. Next is our car envelope. Now our car envelope is completely empty right now. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know we get our cars inspected at the same time, and that completely wiped us out. I needed 2 new tires, and thankfully my husband's car didn't take any repairs, but between paying for the tires, emissions, and inspections for both cars were wiped. So I'm gonna put $25 in that today. That's another category that once we are finished saving for our emergency fund, this will go up exponentially because we're going to have to start saving for new cars too at some point. Next up is our doctor medicine envelope. Obviously, this is for any time we have to go to the doctor, pay copays, or somebody gets sick or we need medicine, even any vitamins and some different supplements we'll pull out of this envelope. I'm gonna put $10 in that one. The next is our vet envelope. This one is also empty because all 3 of our pets actually go get their vet appointments at the same time of year. We had a couple issues with my one dog this year, so the envelope is empty and I still haven't taken my cat for her checkup. So we're saving back up. As soon as we get to about $100, I will take her for her checkup, and then we'll start fresh saving for next year. If you have pets, this one is essential because if your pets have never gotten sick, then maybe you don't understand how incredibly expensive the vet costs can get. So I beg you, if you have pets, please start an envelope or a sinking fund or however you want to do it. Save some money for pets. We also pay for pet insurance each month, not in an envelope, it's just debited from our account each month. We use pet plan insurance, we really like them. We've had no issues with them. I find their rates to be very reasonable. I will leave a link down below if you want to check them out so you can protect yourself from crazy pet costs too. $25 is going in the vet envelope today. Next is kid commissions. I still haven't got my kid commissions video filmed. It's coming, I promise. I always take kid commissions out in ones because we like to pay them right away. They only get a couple dollars a week. So get your kid commissions out in ones. It makes things so much easier. We are putting $10 in the kid commissions envelope this week. Next is lunch. I save usually 10, sometimes more a pay for our lunch envelope. This goes for $10 for my son every month to purchase one lunch a week at school. The rest of the time he packs. And we also save some money in here for when my husband has training days at work and they usually grab something on the go to eat. The next category is toiletries. I used to save in an envelope for this before and then we stopped. I don't know why I stopped. I think because we just really cut our expenses as much as possible. We are really working hard to get our debt paid off. But now that we're debt free, I think I'm going to implement the toiletries envelope again, just because sometimes it really adds up and gets pricey, and it seems that we often need a bunch of things around the same time. So it would be nice to be able to just pull from this instead of using our miscellaneous budget and kind of wiping that out each time. I'm only going to put $10 in the toiletry envelope today. Next is haircuts. If you guys follow me on Instagram, if you don't, you should. Here it is. But if you follow me on Instagram, I posted a picture of our cash envelope, our breakdown the other week, and I had, believe it or not, a lot of people comment on the $10 haircuts. We don't have $10 haircuts. I mean, I wish. That would be awesome to only have to pay $10 for a haircut. So it's not a $10 haircut, but what it is just putting $10 in this envelope every pay to go towards haircuts. So whenever my son or my husband or even myself needs a haircut, then we can take whatever's out of that envelope and use it for a haircut. So just wanted to clarify that. I also usually try to put a couple dollars in ones in the haircut envelope, so that way they have ones for tips. This is another new envelope I started back up. This is a Sam's Club envelope. I'm not going to continue taking all of the household items out of our miscellaneous and spend envelope. What seemed to be happening lately is that we were actually out of spend money, and I would end up just using our debit card to purchase paper towels, toilet paper, tissues, and we get them at Sam's, so it lasts us longer, but it is a bigger expense at the time of purchase. So I'm going to start putting money in Sam's. We also get a whole bunch of different food items from there on a regular basis. So when we're going there and we have a big expense, I will just grab this envelope and we'll put it towards our bill. And I'm gonna put $20 in this envelope today. The last couple budget categories are miscellaneous, entertainment, and restaurants. And I've talked about this before. What we usually do at this point in our budgeting is I combine them all into one envelope called spend. This is the money that I usually take with me. This is the money that usually gets spent much quicker. But if we go out to dinner and it costs a little bit more, we just pull from this envelope and we have a little bit less for entertainment and miscellaneous. If we need a couple of items from miscellaneous, then we usually spend less on restaurants that budget. So I put these all together in one category, but that is really the breakdown. And I'm going to save technically $40 for restaurants, $50 for entertainment, and $50 for miscellaneous. That's a total of $140 for the spend envelope this month. I usually do $100 a pay, but with the holiday season coming, it seems you're on the go a little bit more. You often tend to eat out a little bit more. And believe it or not, while I try not to spend money on ourselves during the holiday season, it always seems that you run into so many good buys. So this just gives us a little bit extra wiggle room. If there's something we see that we could really use for our house, that we can pick it up if we need it. So that's the last $140 in the spend category. That's the rest of my envelopes. We are done. If you like this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and I hope you'll consider subscribing. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you and I hope you have a great day.